Come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these couple days be done. Well, it's Wisdom Wednesday. And let me tell you something, folks. I love this line. Take your life into your hands. Make it work out your way. It's not the number of times you stumble down and fall upon the ground. It's the number of times you pick yourself up and keep on moving on to meet your goals. I love that. I love that. I love that. And folks, that's what it's all about. It's Wisdom Wednesday. And guess what? This is the fourth Wednesday of the third month. I'm going to give you even more impactful news. This is the last Wednesday of the third month of the year, which means that a quarter, 25% of the year is already gone. So I ask you this. 25% of the year has already gone. Did you do everything you could to make this year your year for outrageous success? Over these last 3 months, have you followed your plans? Have you executed them on a daily basis? Have you gotten the anticipated and desired results? And are you excited about going forward, doing what you have been doing, just doing it a little bit better? Ben Franklin was faced with that dilemma years ago. And he had a decision-making process that helped him make the next move. And his decision-making process was this: to determine where you want to go, you must know where you are. Every GPS, you can buy the Rolls Royce of GPSs, but it is absolutely worthless unless you can give it 2 coordinates. Where you want to go, your destination, and where you are, your location. And so this Wednesday, as we finish this third month of the year, completing a quarter of the year, let us assess our progress to date. Now, I'm going to recommend a tool to you. I'm going to recommend what we call the New You for the New Year home study course. And it's all a part of the Success Toolbox. If you go to my website, www.herbertharris.com, and click on Success Toolbox, there's a audio course there. It's only $47, but there's an audio course there called the Success Toolbox. And in that course, you'll have about 5 audios on New You for the New Year, what you can do to transform your life from what it is to what you want it to be. So I recommend you go to our website, herbertharris.com, and get the Success Toolbox. But what it does is this. When we look at where we are right now, let us assess where we are. Let us look at what we have done to date over these 3 months. Now, if you don't have a plan, I'm still old school, so I'm still in the paper, okay? This was the month of March, and you can see my calendar's pretty full. If you don't have a planner, a written record of your day-to-day activities, you cannot properly assess your progress. Okay. So if you have not been operating with a notebook, with a planner, and I work with a planner and a notebook, okay? This is my notebook, and it says February 1st, 2024, daily plans. And you can see, I'm just going to show some pages to you. You can see every day my notes, my daily notes. And so at this moment, what I'm doing is going back through my notes to see what I accomplished and what I did not accomplish. So Ben Franklin's method would be to look at where you are. Look at all of the things you accomplished. Look at your victories. All right. I try to keep tabs on tasks completed. Excellent. Thank you. What you say, baby, facts. You see, liars may figure, but figures don't lie. If you don't have a written record of what you've been doing over these last 90 days, these first 3 months of the year, then you can't assess your progress. And so one agreement, one choice that I want everyone who hears this now and who hears it in the future, one choice that you must make if you want to be successful. If you don't want to be successful, ignore me, don't listen. But if you want to be successful, and I don't mean just ordinary success, if you want this year to be your year for outrageous success, where everything you wanted to do happens and more, then you have to live by the book. By the book, meaning you must have a calendar, a written system of keeping track of what you want to do each day. Good morning, Dawn. Thank you for joining us. Dawn is one of our speakers from the Success Mentorship Network. She did a magnificent job last week. Wow. Extraordinary success. Beautiful. So you have to have that plan. I call it a daily planner, by the book. And in that book, you should have a list of, every day you should have a list of things that you set out to do that day. And then you cross them off so that you can know what you accomplished and what you have to roll over to the next day. So at the end of this first quarter, you notice that corporations give a quarterly report. We can learn a lot about living our lives from how corporations operate. A corporation that does not turn a profit will be out of business soon. A life where you do not accomplish your goals, you will achieve mediocrity soon. Sade says, take accountability for your own success. If it's to be, it's up to me. Everybody needs to write that, not just in the chat, but write it in your mind. If it's to be, it's up to me. Let's say that together. If it's to be, it's up to me. That's a powerful piece, folks. So that says that now you have the power to transform your life. So let's continue with Ben Franklin. So Ben Franklin would write down all of the victories, all of the things that he accomplished over these 3 months. You achieved this goal, you learned that particular subject, you improved your relationship, you eliminated some negative thinking from your life. All of the positive accomplishments, we call them your victories. And folks, if you take the time to do that, one thing that will happen, a couple of things will happen. Number one, if you can't think of any victories and can't write them down, that means you really need to make some serious changes. But if you can think of the victories and you write them down, focus on them. So often we get so focused on our defeats that we don't see our victories. Recently I was looking back, and we all have those days when you're like, man, this is not working. You know, I'm supposed to be the success man, and this was a day that none of the things I set out to do got accomplished. Man. But then I can turn around and say, you know what? But I did this, I did that, and did the other. So your list of your victories, all the things that you've accomplished over these last 3 months. And then look at your lessons. There's never a failure. You never fail at anything. Thomas Edison, when a lady said to him, Scooter, thank you. When a reporter was interviewing Thomas Edison, she said, Mr. Edison, you have failed over 3,000 times to identify this so-called filament for this so-called light bulb that nobody's ever seen. And Edison said, I have not failed at anything. I have successfully identified 3,000 ways that will not work. So don't look at a failure as a failure. Look at it as a lesson. So what are some of the lessons you learned over these last 90 days? Well, maybe lesson one might be you got to really take control of your thinking. Maybe you thank you, Kenya. Thank you so much. Wow. You know, and I often forget that, Kenya. Thank you. Buy a badge. You can purchase a badge on Instagram, and I appreciate that because it inspires me to know that my words are value to you, and that you've taken them in the heart, and you've compensated us. So thank you so much. So your lessons now, when you start laying them out, okay, maybe you learn that you got to control your thinking. That if you can let negative thoughts come into your mind, let negative thoughts create doubt. Doubt creates a divided mind. You cannot operate from doubt. Doubt will always eliminate and undermine your energy. You know, when you make a decision to do something, and then you begin to wonder if you really have what it takes, it can blow you away. It can undermine your efforts. And so don't let doubt, negative thinking, limitation thinking. So that might be, I learned not to do that. Negative emotions. You know, sometimes you can get so discouraged when you start comparing yourself to other people. You know, I was in a company once, and there were a couple of people who it was a network marketing company, and I you know, there are a lot of people who not network marketing, but I'm one of those people that learned how to do it and have made millions doing it. Not bragging, just saying that I mastered it by failing enough times. Okay? And sometimes you see other people achieving success quicker than you do, and man, you feel bad inside, and you're a little disappointed in yourself, and then once again you get that feeling of maybe I don't have what it takes, and maybe this is not for me, and you know, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, doulda. And when that happens, that undermines your efforts. So the lesson might be, let me take control of my emotions. Let me change emotions of envy to emotions of congratulation. So rather than being jealous that somebody else is doing it better than I'm doing it, let me look at it and say, wow, if that sucker can do it, I know I can do it. If that person can achieve success and make all that money, I know I can do it. Okay? And so, look, what are those emotions now that you can learn from? And once again, everything you learn becomes a tool for your transformation. Hey, what about the habits? Oh, Lord, look back over these last 3 months, and what habits have been slowing you down, have been undermining your success? Have you been writing your daily plan the night before? You know, it's amazing. Some nights I'm really tired, and one lesson I've learned, and I'll share this with you, is don't wait until the end of the night to start planning the next day, because you're tired. And there's a tendency, your mind is tired, you really want to take a nap or go to sleep. The only person that you should be better than is the person you were yesterday. Twin Insurance LLC. Now that's a powerful word. I'm going to say that again. Twin Insurance LLC. The only person that you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Thank you. That's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you, Twin. Thank you, Twin. So, what habits do you have now that have been undermining you, slowing you down? If you're not doing your daily plan the night before, and I recommend you do it shortly after dinner, whatever your final routine is, do it before you get tired so that you will get it done. Hey, Troy, Twin Insurance, Troy Whitehurst. Hey, congratulations, my friend, on your new book, by the way. Write in the name of your new book, Troy. I think people will enjoy it. So, when you look at those habits that are undermining you, once again, you can now say, okay, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to make a commitment now to do my planning earlier in the night. So whatever habits are undermining you, might be your food, maybe, you got to keep your weight down. You know, very often people have health issues as they get older. And my doctor said this. He said, listen, if you can maintain the weight that you had when you were 25, that you will give yourself a strong possibility for the same level of health you had when you're 25. All right. Stripe Strength says it's never too late to start. Absolutely. You can always create a new ending. All right. Troy's book is called Choose to Be Happy. Joy Comes from the Lord. What a powerful book, Troy. And it's available on Amazon. And that's Troy Whitehurst. Choose to be happy. Joy comes from the Lord. Joy comes from the Lord. And there's the link. If you can take that down, folks. Powerful book. I did the forward for the book. So it's a great book. So your habits. Get those habits that don't serve you. Eliminate them. Create new habits. The beauty of creating good habits is in the beginning you create the habits. But in the end, the habits create you. Kenya, you got that right. Thank you, Kenya. Kenya is my favorite personal trainer. And if you can get in the habit of doing your exercise in the morning, so it's automatic. You see, the beauty of a habit is you don't have to think about it anymore. You just automatically get up and do your push-ups, your sit-ups. Bad habits give us satisfaction. Why else do we repeat them? To break a bad habit, we must first identify what satisfaction we get from the bad habits. Woo! Hey, Cash Coach, that's deep. That's deep. That's something to think about, folks. Bad habits give you satisfaction. Why would you do it? And you know it's bad. It must be something that pleases you about it. Bad habits can be symptomatic of other issues. For example, procrastination. One of the worst habits that will steal your dreams is procrastination. Say, well, why do I procrastinate? Procrastination may be symptomatic of lack of belief in yourself. You hesitate making a decision because you're afraid that you'll fail. And so that idea of looking at these habits that undermine you and then learn from them. And then finally, number 4. Ooh, Lordy. What relationships have you permitted yourself to be involved in over these last 3 months that do not serve you? What relationships, who's in your space that does not lift you up and motivate you? Who's in your space that is critical? That all day long you spend time like putting up walls, trying to protect yourself from other people's negativity. You know, you hang around the wrong people. You may be well-intentioned, but birds of a feather flock together. If you're hanging around with 5 broke people, if you're hanging around with 5 lazy people, guess who the 6th one is? Ha! It's you. Whoever you permit yourself to hang around, whoever you permit to come into your life are there because there's something you sent out that's calling them. And so this day, let's look at those relationships that don't help us, that don't uplift us, that don't motivate us to be more, to do more, and to go for it. Surround yourself with people who say, you can do it, man. You can do it, lady. Go for it. It's your day. It's a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. Whoopee. So, this day, we said live by the book. Okay. Use the book to determine where you are, looking at your victories and your lessons. And then what Ben Franklin would do would be to look at your victories and the lessons. And if you had more victories than lessons, then you say, okay, these first 3 months, I did pretty well. I give myself a B, maybe even a B plus. But now, based on this success, I did a lot of good things. I had some lessons, but on a whole, 80% I'm perking and working. And so now you make a commitment to enhance what you've done that's working, give more energy into it, put more time into it, and explode it. On the other hand, if you look at that list of people, a list of results over the last 3 months, and you get more lessons than victories, that's time when you need a checkup from the neck up. That's the time when you may need help. And let me just tell you this. Many of you, I do a few success coaching jobs. And I welcome you to give me a call. Go to my website, herbertharris.com, and book a call. If you think you're stuck in the mud of negativity, of bad people, bad relationships, or whatever, something's holding you back, go to herbertharris.com and book a call. And let's talk about it. So, by the book, the next thing you got to do is live by the clock. The activities that you have to do each day must be scheduled. If you don't schedule when to do them, chances are they will not be done. And when you live by the clock, you ask yourself from moment to moment, is this the best use of my time right now? When I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose, and if it's not, don't do it. And then finally, you got to live by the calendar. So by the book, by the clock, by the calendar. And that means that you must have a schedule of the things that you you want to do over the week, over the month, over the year. Write the things down in your calendar, the appointments you have, the commitments you have. Maybe you need to pay a bill on a certain day. Write those things down in your calendar so that you can get them done. You see, when you live by the calendar, you don't overbook, you don't miss appointments. It all works together for you. So let's conclude. Today, our Wisdom Wednesday is about looking at where we are right now and seeing the possibilities for the next 3 months. Let's finish up this first quarter now. We still have a few days left. So what can you do now to rectify based on your assessment of where you're at? What can you do right now to turn a lesson into a victory? What can you do right now to achieve a goal that you're just a few feet away from, that if you just put in some extra energy, make some sacrifices, clear the deck, that you can make it and get it done? Okay? What are the things that you can do right now? See, the only time you have is right now that can prepare you for next week, for next month, for the next quarter. Let's live by the book, commit to write the things that we're going to do down, to make our plans the night before, to check off our plans, to monitor our progress. And I recommend that you get your copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. You can go to our website, herbertharris.com. It's available on Amazon. But there's a chapter on the law of action, chapter 7, and it lays out a step-by-step plan of how to execute, how to write your plan of action, and how to follow that plan and get it done. You commit to live by the clock, that each and every moment now is a moment that's devoted to your success. That you make choices about how you invest. Don't spend time. Invest your time in your own goals. And then to live by that calendar. Because when you live by the calendar, you can see your progress day to day, week to week, and month to month. Twin Insurance LLC. Troy says to be like Nike and just do it. A.L. Williams, one of the great insurance men, he had a talk, a motivation speech, and it was called Just Do It. And he was basically saying, hey, when the weather is cold, when it's rainy and snowy, and you have an appointment, just do it. When the people around you tell you you can't do it, you don't have what it takes, you've been a failure all your whole life, why are you going to change? Just do it. When all the indications that the external indications say you can't get it done, you don't have what it takes, you don't have the education, just do it. Because when you just do it, you create a vibration, you create an energy that will attract into your life the things that you desire. So folks, the commitment now to close out this month is just do it. Do everything you can with what you have to do it with to make tomorrow the way you want it to be. And when you can do that, when you can get to the end of each day, this is a matter of fact, in the epilogue for the book, it says this. When you ask yourself, did I do everything I could today to make tomorrow the way I want it to be? And when you can answer that question in the absolute affirmative, when you can say, yes, I did everything I could with what I had to do it with to make tomorrow exactly the way I want it to be and more, then you're truly on your way to success and achievement in this lifetime. Then you can truly be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. Well, so it is. Just take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Hey folks, thank you so much. You can buy a badge for our program today. We'd appreciate that. Those of you who purchased badges, thank you so much. It warms my heart, and it lets me know how much you care about what we're doing and how much you care about yourself, that you're open to receive the messages and to act on them. Go to our website, herbertharris.com, www.herbertharris.com, and book a call. Let's talk. I got a lot of things going on in my life that I can share with you that may put you in a position to change your life and make it exactly the way you want it to be. Thank you, I, Papa Joe. Give thanks and praises. Have courage. Have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So when you are after a goal, when you're pursuing a particular endeavor and nothing around you says it's going to happen, when there's no evidence that you're going to become the great person that's always living right there inside of you, keep moving. Just do it. Because faith is the substance of the things that will make and manifest in your life if you just do it. And so it is, folks. Have a great, magnificent day, knowing that the best is yet to come.